I have a friend called Gary Al Smith.
Okay.
You probably heard of him. He's a sports journalist. And Gary likes my music. So whenever I put out a beat, he say, Charlie, give me, I want to listen it. So you listen to it in his car, jam it, whenever.
Just the beat?
Yeah, just the beat.
With no song on it?
No. My beats are they are pretty much songs on their own because every instrument is talking to you, and so he listens to them. Sometimes he says when he's going home, he'll be driving and he'll be jamming to it. And then one day I was there and then he hit me up. He's like, Spiky, I heard your beat somewhere. I want you to go check it out. I'm like, where? He's like, I'm sending you the link. So he sent me the link and it was CAF, Confederation of African Football, promoting their African Male Footballer of the Year and African Female Footballer of the Year. And the videos that they used to promote that award show had my music under it. So, and I'm like, no, wait. Am I hearing right? Like, why did these people do this? Why would they take my stuff without asking me permission? So at that point, I thought it was one of my friends who was probably a video editor who had gone to you. So I texted all my video editor friends.
We are working so hard to bring you the voices that matter and to tell the most inspiring stories. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel to become part of our growing community.
Hello, lovely people. Welcome back on another episode on Time with Julius. We have Kobe Spiky with us today. Kobe Spiky. Who is Kobe Spiky? Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
So I'm a tech consultant. I work in tech.
Yeah.
I work in media as well. And then in the evenings when I'm not doing any of that, I'm a music producer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you do as a tech consultant?
So I provide tech services to businesses and individuals and who don't have tech units or IT departments. I help businesses who want to make certain operations more efficient with technology. And then some of my clients are just individuals who just need their own personal IT guy who can protect them from some of the threats online and stuff like that. And then when it comes to media, I'm the group head of EIB Digital right now. So handle everything digital for EIB. EIB is GH1, Star FM, Kasapa, the whole shebang.
Okay.
And that's just about it.
And what about music though?
It's a hobby that I've really taken. It's taken a huge part of my life.
Yeah. And what inspired you to get into all these three careers?
Oh, tech, because I love tech. Like, I've always loved tinkering with gadgets, opening stuff, figuring out how they work, making, trying to build stuff,
Yeah.
And secondly, when it comes to media, that one was by accident. I never wanted to be in media. My mother used to be a broadcaster, and so naturally when your parents do something, they want to push you in that direction. They want you to do what they did. And so my mom pushed me into journalism school, which I totally hated, but I had to do it. As for the music, from high school, my friend, from a very early age, I've always wanted to create, but I suck at art. I can't paint anything. I can't draw anything. But then someone showed me, my dad introduced me to a software for making beats called EJ. And then somewhere along the line, a classmate of mine, Pitano, in senior high school, brought Fruity Loops. And I started playing with it and I've not stopped ever since.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically you do like three different things, right? Tech consultants, media personnel, and music,
production.
Music production. So how is it? How's the journey been like for you though? Is it difficult? Is it, because they are totally like three different things?
Well, in some places they intersect. So the music, sometimes I use my music to create content in media. Sometimes my tech comes to play in the media. So you find me on TV talking about tech. I give people tips about tech, advice, and I had a tech show when I used to work at Joy FM. And now at GH1, I give tech tips, daily. And because I head digital at a media organization, my tech knowledge also assists me with my work. So I'm able to sort of be on top of issues, you know, whenever I have to do something, because it's pretty much my life. I mean, I live tech.
Yeah.
So anything I do, it comes very easily for me. The music, it's not really ever been something I wanted to profit from.
All right.
Because it was a hobby. And I'm a perfectionist. And I criticize myself very heavily. So knowing that there are people out there who are way better, people who play instruments. I don't play any instruments, by the way.
Okay.
And so I don't want a professional instrumentalist or a professional musician, to listen to my beats and think that, oh, this was made by a very novice producer. You know, so I want my stuff to sound as realistic, as convincing as possible, so nobody knows that this guy doesn't even play the instrument, so he doesn't know that you play like this. You know, so which is why I never really went commercial with my beats. I was always just putting it out there, trying to get feedback to improve, you know, that someday I'd actually get so good that it will be indiscernible from the professionals.
Right. So I was gonna ask you, so how do you play beat if you can't play any instrument?
Play by the ear. So I know what sounds good and what doesn't. So if I'm going to play a chord, I listen, use the keyboard. So my computer keyboard, I can actually make sounds. So I play it like the piano. I play the computer keyboard like the piano.
Right.
Yeah. So when Q is do, W is re, E is me.
So you know the basics.
Yeah,
I know. Understand the basics.
Exactly. So I know musical theory. I've studied a bit of musical theory, but yeah, I can't play the instrument, but I know that do and mi and so would give me a chord. Yeah. I don't know what it's called. Yeah. But I know that it sounds good.
Ooh, yeah.
Or this and that sounds good, and this and this and this sounds good. So then I put them together, and sometimes I experiment, you know. And I think I learned how to produce music by listening to other beats and trying to replicate them. And that really helped.
So was it a self-taught?
Yeah, everything I know pretty much except journalism was self-taught. I didn't go to an IT school to learn how to do tech. Like self-taught, just tinkering, taking contracts to do stuff and learning. And the music, same thing, self-taught.
And then with music, in terms of music, you don't sing, or if you just do the beat.
No, I just make the beats.
You just made the beat.
Yeah.
Is it rewarding making beats?
Rewarding to me personally when I've successfully composed something, yes. Yeah. When I make a beat and I listen to it, I'm like, wow, this sounds good. I made this, you know.
Do you always have to feel the beat?
Yeah. If it's not good, I don't release it.
How do you know it's good or not?
Like, you feel it. You get goosebumps when you listen to it. Like, this sounds really good. And you know, I think it's with every creative person. When you create something, when you birth something and it comes out and it even blows your mind that you did it.
You've done it.
There's that sort of reward you get and you're like, wow. Sometimes I just stand in my room and I look at it, I'm like, damn.
Did you actually read this?
Yeah, you know, even months, days, weeks later after I hear it again, I'm like, what came over me? What made me do this? You know, but even then, I still criticize elements of it. Go like, yeah, but this doesn't sound too good. You know, this should hit harder. Yeah. You know, my mix is not too good. And so I have a friend who's called Drumroll. He's like whenever I make a beat, I go and listen to Drumroll's beats and I can't listen to mine. Drumroll's kicks are punching. I'm lacking. I need to match up to Drumroll's, you know? And a lot of other producers that I really always aspire to be as good as. So Hammer was my inspiration starting off. And Timbaland and the Runners. You know, I listen to their beats, I listen to their compositions, and even a film composer like Hans Zimmer. I listen to his stuff and mind blown. Like, how did he even think about this? How did he even come up with this instrument? How do you think playing this would come up with something? And those are the things that make it difficult for me to be content with what I've done, because I'm looking at these guys who've composed Grammy-winning stuff. Like, does this qualify to be Grammy-winning? Nah, I need to work harder, you know? So, that's really what's pushed me when it comes to my music. Yeah.
Okay. So, and see, when you music producers understand the game, people like us don't understand it. We just go with the flow, and we just dance and just jam with it. What are the things that you put into considerations when you are making producing beat?
I think it differs for every producer. Some producers think about, I need to make people want to move. People need to want to dance to this beat, so then it's always a vibe for them. And you find that producers, which is why DJs actually make very good producers. So a DJ who's a music producer can actually be better than most producers because they understand what gets the crowd moving, right? But for someone like me, most of my music is never really about the audience's actions. It's more about how I make people feel. Because my music more or less tells stories. They're like soundtracks. They're like movie soundtracks. So you watch a movie. Have you ever watched a movie with no music before?
Nah.
There's always music in the background because it adds to emotion. It adds to the action. Even the cartoons we used to watch as kids, we remember their soundtracks because that's how they start the cartoon. And that's what I wanted to achieve, to be able to create music that people associate with a certain feeling. So when I make a heartbreak beat, I want you to listen to it and cry. Like you listen to it and it reminds you of the guy that broke your heart or the girl that broke your heart. I want you to listen to a beat that I made for someone that you lost, someone that passed, and then it triggers that emotion, and next thing you know, you're crying. I want you to listen to a beat, and if you're working out, next thing you know, you're supposed to do 5 kilometers, you've done 10 because it's invigorating. And there's science to prove that music actually has that effect on us. So if you're listening to music and you're working out, it adds up to your energy. If you're listening to music, why do people listen to Unbreak My Heart when they are brokenhearted? And they listen to Fuck What You Said, I Don't Mean Shit when they want to insult their exes, because it echoes the emotion that they're feeling. And that's what I want to achieve in my music. So most of the time, I want people to, when I watch people listening to my music, I'm looking at what are they feeling? Are they in the vibes? Like, are they in the mood or the feels that I had when I was making it? Do they feel the same way? If they don't, I haven't really successfully achieved what I want to do.
So do you only do like slow sort of like a music beat, or you like dancing like heat, like deep, sort of like beat
cuts as well? Across. I can do very slow, which is emotional, pensive, thoughtful music, and I can do very hard hitting, hip hop beats.
How though? Because you don't look like someone you can dance. So how do
you know? So I
can't.
I don't look like someone who can dance. That's actually a very bold assumption, but yeah, let's go with that.
So how do you know the right beat to
when it comes to hip hop, it's really, for me, if most of my friends will tell you my bass. Like, I go ham with the bass. Like, I go hard with the bass. So I want if you want to test your speakers, come for my beats.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, whether your speakers are good or bad. Because I have beats that rip speakers.
Yeah.
Because they go low, high, and I play with bass a lot. Because that's like the heart. That's the foundation of the beat.
Yeah.
And I do a lot of melodies, and I love trumpets. I mean, I did say hammer is my inspiration. And so I love trumpets because they're sort of majestic. They let you know something's about to happen. Pa pa pa, and then like you're looking at, hey, what's going on? Even in the olden days when they were going for war, they take trumpets, horns, and they use that to announce that we are coming.
I was watching it yesterday, and I'm still watching Vikings.
Right.
I don't know if you've seen it.
I've been seeing it on Netflix, but I haven't watched it yet.
It's great. You have to watch it. It's great, because they were always like blowing the horns.
Blowing the horns, exactly. It's majestic. It's powerful. So it gives. If you are going to war and you brought a violin,
makes everything slow.
Everything slow.
All of you will be there.
You need heavy drums and the trumpets. That sort of impact. That impact from those sounds gives the soldiers morale. And you're like, let's go. So that's why I do that.
Who are some of the people that you've produced music for?
So I made beats for not a lot of top
Big names,
artists, but most of my beats, because they're soundtracks for documentaries and films and stuff. But I've done beats for Shaker, Joey B, who else? Senna Hooks. There was a rapper. I forget their names, but not a lot of them are very popular, except for Shaker and Joey B and Kilmatic and Bebelino, Slicker. Those are the guys that I've made beats for. Made beats for Trickmatic as well. Trickmatic, Shaker, Joey B, they were in a group called Mike Wreckers.
Okay.
Before they joined Skillions and Ibuzu and all that. So I made beats for them before. Made beats for a guy back in school, Pretty X. For the rappers, that's them. And Quakes, made beats for Quakes as well.
So let's pause on the beat for now, but because you are into tech as well. So when you say tech, do you mean like gadgets, or like do you mean like automobile? What do you mean? Like what's your specialty?
So you know what they say, jack of all trades.
Yeah.
So I'm a jack of all trades when it comes to tech, because I can't find one thing about tech that I don't like. I love it all. Once it talks bits, bytes, I'm there. Once there's a screen, keyboard, mouse, I'm there. Once there's a touch screen, there's code, I'm there. So I love tech because I think it's my second language. I don't know how to describe it, but I've never ever encountered a tech problem that's really had me lost to the point that I couldn't fix it and I gave up. When you're not really passionate about something and it stresses you, you give up. But when you're passionate, you burn the midnight candle. You would stay nights till you get to the end. That's me and tech. If I encounter a problem, it's like all night romance. We're going to deal with this thing. So it's just something I don't get tired of. Even if no matter how tired I am, I will get behind my computer and do some work, play around with it, toy around with it. And computers they've basically gotten me to where I am. It's like they call me and I call them. I talk to them and they understand, and we understand each other. So it's a relationship that nobody can come between, except maybe cars. But then cars are also part of tech. So,
I was gonna ask you, what's your favorite car? Because you are so into
BMW.
Oh yeah, because you came with BMW. Right.
I'm such a huge BMW fan. Even my phone is BMW.
Why? What's so special about them?
Oh, the driving dynamics. Like, if you get behind the wheel of a BMW, and you're driving it, you are driving the car. Mercedes drives you. It's a luxury car. You sit, like the Ghanaians who say, "But that Benz." It's relaxing. The car takes care of you. But BMW, like you are the driver. The motor is ultimate driving machine. So if you want to drive, get a BMW. You put your foot down, the car will go. You tell the car, turn here, it will turn. There's that connection between car and driver you don't get in most cars. By getting a BMW.
So what you just said, just reminded me of something that I always say, about cars. Because you are rich, so of course you talk about the BMWs and all that. You are rich, so definitely you talk about BMW and all that, But people like us, you know how?
Oh, you're not rich.
No, I'm not.
Hey,
no.
Please say you're rich. Attract the richness.
I'm not. I will be one day. Very soon.
You are rich. Soon. It's just that money has not loaded in the account to where you want it to be. So you are rich, but you want 9 zeros. Right now you have 6 zeros. Yeah, right now I have 6 zeros, but I want 9 zeros, so we understand. Sorry.
Okay, all right, okay. Okay. So I used to say when say if in the UK I drive manual cars, right? And I say if I'm gonna buy automatic car, I'm gonna buy a luxurious car, because my manual, I feel like I'm driving the car. I'm in control because all your every part of your body is working. It feels like you are Do you know what I mean? Like driving the
you're
car.
in
So,
charge.
like, if I'm buying automatic car, then it's gonna be very, very luxurious, like the Mercedes, where
or Bentley
I
or
feel like,
Rolls Royce.
yeah, do you know what I mean? So I'm saying that rich people like you will say BMW because that's
Rich people like you. Who's you? I don't see you here. It's just me and
I'm sure you know about Kantanka cars, right?
I do indeed.
Have you experienced? What's your opinion about Kantanka cars?
First of all, which ones? The spaceship aeroplane one, and the ones that look like they could come out of Mad Max and Fast and Furious, or the ones that they are giving everybody, the ones that's for the market.
Exactly. The ones
the ones that they are selling.
Yeah, the ones that's for the market. Because
they look good. They look good. I mean, my only issue is that they're assembled here and badged here. But there's this miscommunication that some people think that those ones are built from the ground up by Kantanka, right? As a car guy, I know that they're not built, they're assembled. So they import the parts and they put them together and then make their car and then they badge them. Anyone could do that. And so there needs to be that...
I thought the engine were produced.
No, the whole thing is brought here. Like, it's a kit's car. So you bring it in, you put it together, and you put your badge. You can do that yourself. There's actually even an article online where somebody was bashing them about them claiming to build cars, but then they are assembling cars from China. Which is indeed true. They're assembling cars. They're building the cars, the ones that I asked you about, like the aeroplane one, the ones that look like they come out of, Mad Max, and there's an ammo car one. Those ones, they built them. No disputing that. Not from scratch. Elements from different places.
Okay.
Building a car is not that simple. And I'm not throwing shade on whatever they're doing. They're doing a great job, right? Because that's an industry that has to grow in Ghana.
Yeah.
But that's all I just want people to understand. That there's a difference between building a car from scratch and assembling a car.
Okay.
Right? Using parts. So you buy parts and you assemble. I build cars. I'll go and buy a car that's been broken down and then build it, to my specification. That doesn't mean I built everything piece by piece, right? Or I manufactured everything. No, I didn't manufacture anything. Probably got somebody a fiber body person to create a panel for me to put here because maybe I want the body to be wide or anything. But I didn't manufacture that car. Just built it or assembled it using parts that I got, right? And there's a huge difference. So that clarity has to be there for people to understand, because then it gets people having arguments, unnecessary arguments. We need to support local industries. And so once we all come to the understanding that, listen, it's a local industry, they're assembling cars, they're bringing in, they've identified parts that will work for us better.
Yeah.
And so they're bringing those parts in and they're assembling it here, creating jobs for the local people to help them assemble and then make cars that, could work better for us. Because me, I like BMWs, but not, they are troublesome. When I say they are troublesome, they're very sensitive. Even the fuels we buy here. So maybe if Kantanka says, listen, we've made cars that can handle any fuel in Ghana. So you can buy fuel from the Gao people and it will still run well. That makes sense. Than for people to be having arguments about Kantanka manufactures everything, even the lights, the plastic on the lights.
That's what I thought, actually. Honestly,
so they
that's
just
what I thought.
assemble.
They do everything here.
There are things that they do. And there are things that they bring and then they assemble. So those other cars, you'd see them in a different country with a different badge. And they are not Kantanka, right? So that's the clarity that needs to be had. Then once that's had, then we can understand and embrace Kantanka that they do this. They're trying to build their own cars or manufacture their cars. They haven't gotten there yet. And, every company, look at Tata. That's how they started. They're manufacturing their own things, small. They'll take something from here, put it together. Even today, the new Range Rovers use BMW engines. It's not wrong.
Yeah.
The new Aston Martins use Mercedes engines.
What's the first? BMW,
the new Range Rovers use BMW engines.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now?
They use BMW's V8 engines in their new Range Rovers. And it's fine.
And the Mini
Cooper is owned by BMW. Rolls Royce is owned by BMW. So when people know these things, then it sort of casts a clearer light on what's happening. And then there's no argument over, the cars are not good, they are China cars, and they've just come and put Kantanka, or Kantanka is manufacturing everything here, let's support, let's just understand this is what they're doing, this is one side of their business, and this is the other side.
How sure are you that that's what they are doing?
Or do you want me to show you receipts? Well, there's evidence. I'll show you after the podcast. I'll show you.
Right.
Like I'm saying, there's stuff that they manufacture.
Yeah.
No disputing that. Yeah. That's when they organize their showcase where they bring the armor cars and the robots that they've done. There's stuff that they manufacture. Yeah. And then there's stuff that they assemble, which are the kitted cars. Then they put the Kantanka star on them. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Yeah. So, even in Nigeria, they do the same thing. Innocent, there's a company in Nigeria called Innocent. They do the same thing. They import the kits and they build them. They assemble them in their country. Yeah.
So apart from the fact that they're not making things clear as to how, they pull up their cars and, all that, in general, what do you think about Kantanka cars?
I want Kantanka to really bring themselves down to the people's level. Today, one of the most thriving businesses in Ghana is Uber, right? Ride-hailing service, Uber, Yango, Bolt. If Kantanka made these little cars and gave them to people on, credit purchases, it would really help the economy. Rather than focusing on cars that the middle class and upper class would buy, which anyone who has a choice to buy those cars also has a choice to buy a Toyota, Honda, Nissan, Hyundai, or Kia. It's very hard to convince a traditional Ghanaian person to buy a car that was assembled in Ghana of a Ghanaian brand versus one that is even probably accidented and imported into Ghana. Do you get it? It's very difficult to convince them.
Why though? I'm not cutting you. We will come back to that. But why though?
Why is it difficult to convince people?
Yeah, because they assemble one of the cars.
Volkswagen. Yeah. But
in Ghana.
Yes. But that's a known brand. And so, there's a thing with
Kantanka is known as well.
When I say a known brand,
international brand.
Known international brand versus one question somebody asked was, do they crash test Kantanka cars versus the other cars? I mean, if you go online, you find crash tests of Volkswagen. You find all those tests, emissions, regulations, tests, Yeah. Are they doing the same for the Kantanka? Those are the questions people are asking. So the PR department in Kantanka has to take these things seriously. Listen to some of the questions people are asking and provide them with the evidence that they're looking for. And you've got a case. Don't leave people to assume. It always ends the wrong way. And if you have that information and people are not seeing it, it means that you need to do a lot more work with your public relations. Yeah. And that
you need the feedback to improve.
Get the car community involved. Let the car community come and experience what you let them get. They will be your influencers. They will sell your story. Why do you think businesses now use influencers? Because humans don't believe brands anymore. If a brand, let's say this tissue brand, said, hey, our tissue absorbs 5,000 more liquid than any tissue on the market, would you believe them? It's an advert.
Yeah.
But if I came and I told you, bro, I use this tissue, it's very good, wouldn't you take my word for it? Exactly. Because bro to bro, you trust me.
Yeah.
Like Spiky can't lie to me. Why? Are they paying him? But the advert, they've paid for the advert and they are telling you this story. What's the guarantee that it actually works? Right? So trust influencers, get people who are known in the community, the automotive community, to sell your story for you. And then do your PR for you. Convince people that, the Kantanka brand is actually very good. Imagine if 10 very influential people in Ghana were spotted multiple times in Kantanka cars. Next thing you know, a lot of people are like, Charlie, if this guy is driving Kantanka, it must actually be good. I know people who are buying BMW because Spiky drives a BMW, because Lloyd drives a BMW, because Crab drives a BMW. My friends who drive BMWs are influential. And so they influence other people to buy BMWs. Right?
Yeah.
That's how it works. If you go to the banking industry right now, a lot of Hondas and Toyotas, because one person bought it, they said, it's good. Everybody goes to buy it. Yeah. Elantra is good. Everybody goes to buy it. Why do we see those cars on the street? Because one person says it's good and lets everybody else. The reason why you see a lot more BMWs, how many people buy the BMW and come and say it's good? Very few people have the money to buy it. But the ones they can buy, they sell the story and people buy. So Kantanka, get people who are influential, let them sell your story.
So
It's
here
that
you're
simple.
talking about the branding, right?
Yeah, that's it. Let people just do that job for you. You'd be surprised how many people you'd convert to just want to try it. You know what? Yeah, I mean, let me just try it and see. And they try it and it's good. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Maybe one day we have them on, for them to also explain things.
Yeah.
Further. So you've produced. Let me just go straight to the point. You sued CAF
Yeah, I did.
by using your beat.
For using my beat, yeah.
What was that beat for? How did that come about?
So, a little backstory. That was when I transitioned from making mainstream beats to now making film scores and, music that people could use for films and documentaries and adverts and stuff. And so I also decided that I wanted my music to have a unique identity. So when you listen to a hammer beat, the moment it starts, you know this is hammer.
Yeah.
You listen to JQ, you know it's JQ. Every single music producer, Timbaland, Scott Storch, they all had this signature sound. So what's going to make Spiky's sound unique? And I realized we don't have African-inspired theme songs, or like even if you heard a hip-hop beat that was coming from Africa, it will sound like something that came from the West. But let's bring our congas, let's bring our Fonton Froms inside there. And that was my decision. This is what I'm going to do. This is the kind of sound I'm going to put out. And one of the first series of those sounds, I made Ya Santoa, I made Ifwa Safwa, and I made Okonfa Noche. So when I made Okonfa Noche, that was like my magnum opus. Okay. It's like, wow, I did this. This sounds dope.
What was the inspiration, behind the Okonfa Noche?
Okonfa Noche. So my uncle passed, and I went for his funeral, and my dad's side of the family, they're royals from Ikropong. So when you went for the funeral, they had this royal Fonton from, playing those drums because they are welcoming the chiefs and all that. And so I recorded it because I liked the rhythm and it sounded very unique. The boom, 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 boom. And what I told you? Yeah. That's aggressive sound that when you're going for war and things, when you hear that sound, you know that something is about to happen. So I recorded it, I came home and I was like, how am I going to recreate this? Because I loved the sound. Lucky for me, some white man somewhere had decided that I'm coming to West Africa to come and collect all their sounds. So I found a plugin online called West African Sounds. And it's a collection of West African music instruments. It's crazy. Like our drums, our djembe, our conga, our timbali and all those things, they had recorded all of them and they were selling it. Yeah. I had to buy it.
So you bought it?
Yeah, because I needed that sound. So I bought that sound and I used it to make the beat. And wow, it sounded really good. So I put it online. I was in so much of a hurry to show off what I had done. I didn't even put my signature on it. Usually I put Spiky. But I didn't because I was in too much of a hurry to show the world. So look at this. Yeah. I did this. So proud of myself. Beat my chest. And I put a beat out. And expecting people to listen to it and give me feedback. Interestingly, so those in the community that I'm in listen and they all gave me good feedback. Like, Charlie, this is dope. Yeah, and I got to my head. I was excited, enjoying it. Little did I know that somewhere along the line, somebody would take it. I have a friend called Gary Al Smith. Okay. You probably heard of him. He's a sports journalist. And Gary likes my music. So whenever I put out a beat, he say, Charlie, give me, I want to listen to it. So you listen to it in his car, jam it, whenever.
Just the beat?
Yeah, just the beat.
With no song on it?
No. My beats are they are pretty much songs on their own because every instrument is talking to you, and so he listens to them. Sometimes he says when he's going home, he'll be driving and he'll be jamming to it. And then one day I was there and then he hit me up. He's like, Spiky, I heard your beat somewhere. I want you to go check it out. I'm like, where? He's like, I'm sending you the link. So he sent me the link and it was CAF Confederation of African Football promoting their African Male Footballer of the Year and African Female Footballer of the Year. And the videos that they used to promote that awards show had my music under it. So, and I'm like, no, wait. Am I hearing right? Like, why did these people do this? Why would they take my stuff without asking me permission? So at that point, I thought it was one of my friends who was probably a video editor who had gone to use. So I texted all my video editor friends. If you know you're responsible for this, come and see me quickly.
Wait. So you sent the beat to your friend, and then your friend told you that
he's heard it somewhere. So I uploaded it on YouTube. I uploaded it on SoundCloud.
Yeah,
because that's how most of the people who want to use my beats find me. So they go to my SoundCloud, or maybe somebody's looking for African-inspired soundtrack, and when they search it, because I'm into tech, I know how to use search engine optimization to let my stuff show. And then they find it. So most of the time, I get people reaching out to me, want to do a documentary, want African themed sound. We've heard this sound. Can you repurpose it for us, or can we use this sound? And I say sure. And I give them permission, and they'll pay me, and we're done. So that's why I was putting my stuff out there.
But this is what I'm trying to get at. So you send the beat to your friend, and then your friend alert you that
CAF had used it.
To me personally, I'll be like, I've made it. I would not be asking, why did they do that? Who is doing that? At that moment, I would be searching for the people that did that.
Well, the truth is, because I know the industry that I'm in, mind you, I'm also in that industry. So I know that sometimes my friends can use it without my permission. So I have to make sure that it's none of my friends. And if it's my
that
friends,
would have been okay.
No, it wouldn't be okay. I usually would send them a contract for them to sign. Maybe I won't charge them. But I'll give you a contract to sign. Because if you make money from it, I need to make money as well. It's business. We are friends, but business is business. So most of my friends know that if you use I'll copyright strike you. I don't care if we're friends. I'll copyright strike you. Because that's how I make money. You can't expect me to let you just have it for free. And then somewhere down the line, this thing goes viral. So imagine if somebody uses my beats for a video and it goes viral and get 1 billion views. And I don't have any claim to it. They'll chop all the money. Don't even kind of say, oh, Spiky, this is for your music. No.
So intellectual property.
Exactly. So I make sure that, hey, we have an agreement. It's signed that I own the beats. And so if any commercial or if any royalties come out of this, I have a share. So most of the time I ask my friends, is it commercial? Are you using it to promote anything? Because I will also sell these things later. And some of my clients either want exclusive or they want to lease it. So I need to know where it is at any point in time. Because mind you, that would be a breach of contract on my part if I sell a beat to you. Let's say for this podcast, you're like, Spiky, give me something that I can use as an intro for this podcast. And I give you. And you upload this on YouTube. Then you start getting copyright strikes because the beat has been used elsewhere. Wouldn't you be mad at me? Exactly, because you probably paid me for it. So that's why I need to know everywhere it is. And then those who don't have permission, I will strike you first. So that those who have permission can use it. And so I had to make sure that none of my friends had ignorantly made that mistake. And everybody said, wasn't me. So okay, fine. Now I'm coming for CAF.
Okay.
So then I sent emails. I tried to hit them up on social media.
So at that point, were you a little bit excited about CAF using your beat?
The truth is,
because that would have also add a little bit more value to.
But who knows? That's the question. Who knows is my beat? It's just there. People would think, oh, that's CAF's advert. So you see, and CAF is bigger than me. So if it goes viral and everybody knows that is CAF's video, that beat was under CAF's video, and then one day I come and I say, oh, I made this beat. Oh, you're a liar. You stole it from CAF. I've heard it somewhere before. I heard it on CAF's video. Do you see? Now I have to compete with CAF over ownership. Everybody is going to be associating that beat with CAF because CAF is bigger. So now the question is, how do I prove that I own it to another client who wants to buy it? CAF has essentially robbed me of my intellectual property. That's the bottom line. So
that's how okay, you need to go for them then.
So initially I didn't think, I was like, nah, we need to settle this. We need to get to the bottom of this because I don't know what's going on. It was very confusing for me at first. So I sent them a message, tried to get their attention. Nothing. It was just crickets. So then I went on social media and started a whole social media action. You know, getting retweets, calling them out. The beat is still here. The video is still here. You use my beats, and finally they got in touch.
How long did it take before they got in touch?
Honestly, I can't remember. I'll have to go back to the tweets and look at it. A couple of weeks.
Okay, all right.
And then they finally got back to me and said, "Oh, they've been trying to reach me." And I'm like, okay. So they asked for my email. I gave them my email, and they asked for the email I sent to them, which I sent again. And then they said, okay, so now what's the way forward? Like, you have to compensate me. You've used my beats without my permission. You have to pay.
Yeah. So you went straight, like you told them straight away, like,
we're not playing here. You use the thing, the thing I'm selling it. Like, no. I don't need anything. I need money. I said compensate me, and they didn't say anything again. They said they asked for my number. They called me, but we couldn't even have a conversation because they claimed they couldn't hear me. But me, I could hear them very well. And that was it. That was the end of discussion. I had lawyers send them a cease and desist. So eventually they pulled it down. And then, but then they pulled it down from...
lawyers sending them what?
Cease and desist.
What's that?
So stop using the thing.
Okay.
You know, it's not yours.
Okay.
And then they pulled it down.
Okay.
But it was still online. Because imagine if you've put something out there that's very interesting. Look at, let me use this man's video as an example. Akorbeto's laughing video.
Yeah, okay. The one everyone is using.
The one everyone is using.
Yeah.
It started on UTV's channel. Now it's all over the internet.
Yeah.
Right? So if Akorbeto wants everybody to take it down,
it's impossible.
Well, it's possible.
It's possible.
They can get it taken down everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Everywhere. Even on your phone, if you saved it.
I mean, on your phone, obviously, they can't get it.
But online.
But online,
okay,
where it can affect probably whatever royalties he's earning from it. So assuming he registered that laugh as an intellectual property, he could sue anybody who uses it, right? So that's the position I found myself in. Everybody else who'd used it was because you, CAF, made it available. And now anybody else is using your video. Mind you, don't using my soundtrack, using your video with my soundtrack. So you need to get it taken down. And they only took it out from their pages and left the others, which was still not enough for me. And they didn't say anything. I sent them a letter. So I spoke to some lawyers and I sent them a letter. I said, I want $1 million for you using my stuff without my permission. Still didn't hear anything from them. Went to get a letter to send to them through DHL. Demand notice. You have to pay me $1 million for using my stuff. They didn't remind me.
Wow.
So this happened in 2018.
So your first step was for you to own that beat. It wasn't to even sue them. Because
no. I just wanted them to compensate me.
Yeah, okay.
So even initially, this is what I was looking. If we were going to have a conversation, I spoke to a friend of mine, Seven, and I was like, listen, if they come to me and they're like, okay, we're going to pay you, but we want you to produce for us moving forward. I'm cool, right? Forget that $1 million. Give me that contract. I'll produce for you. Put me on a retainer. Whenever you need soundtracks like this, I'll do for you. But you pay me for this one. Let's not forget. This one you stole it, so you have to pay for it.
Yeah. But you wanted some sort of negotiation.
Yeah, but they didn't even get in touch with me. Like, I was so disrespectful. Imagine if they'd done that to a Western artist. They'd be running.
They wouldn't even there.
But some small boy in Ghana, let's bully him.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. You know, so they just strong-armed me out of the way, like, hey, sit somewhere. I've used that, so what?
Yeah. Who are you?
Yeah, so then nothing happened. I didn't hear from them until I decided to take the matter to court. Yeah, so then, I mentioned before that I had a show on Joy FM, a tech show on Joy FM. So one of the episodes, we had an intellectual property lawyer, an IP lawyer, and she goes by the name of Madame Sarah Nokwanku. So she came on the show, and then we were talking about IP, copyrights, patents, and stuff. was like, yeah, me self, I'm sitting here, I have a, somebody has used my beats, CAF. And then I was like, wait, CAF used your beats? I'm like, yeah, what are you doing about it? Like, I don't have money. I can't go to court. It's like, no, you can't just let this go. We need to fight for your rights. Like, because mind you, prior to that, a lot of people have been like, don't even bother. The legal system won't favor you. It's too long. CAF is big. It's going to be like David and Goliath.
Yeah.
They can afford expensive lawyers. You don't have money to go and afford lawyers, and it will cost you a lot of money, and after you win, and then they'll go to appeal, and after you go to appeal, then you go to Supreme Court. And I thought about the whole thing. I looked at my savings, and I'm like, please, I have a house to build, okay? Let me not go and chase
so
this.
long.
So I had almost given up.
Yeah.
And it was really painful because I was even about to release a beat album. And that was one of the beats I was going to be on it. And mind you, even prior, I had other people reach out to me that they wanted to use that beat. But I couldn't give it to them because I'm like, it's in contention. There's a matter around this beat. And so I can't even sell it to you. You see, so this is what I was talking about, that at that point in time, the beat was useless because CAF had used it without my permission. And so if anyone wanted to use it and I gave it to them, imagine if they went around the internet one day and went to find out that it had been used, and maybe they bought exclusive license from me.
Yeah.
It would be a breach of contract and they could sue me. You see, so I couldn't use that beat.
So it's not only just about them using the beat. It's also about the fact that they've used the beat and they've used the beat and you can't even use the beat for that period of time. Any
possible money that I could make from it for that period. Even now that the matter is still in court, I can't even sell it to anyone. If someone says they want exclusive rights to that beat, I can't give them exclusive rights because it's been abused. It's been used. It's online as we speak, not under my name.
And it hasn't been taken down.
It hasn't been taken down. You see, so it was a problem for me. And I have those emails where people would reach out, hey, I saw your Confanoche beat. I want to buy it. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't sell it to you because the matter is, and when it went to court, so I'll tell you, the matter is in court. We're actually, fighting over it. And so I can't sell it to you. If you want exclusive rights, I can't sell it to you. And that's the painful part of this whole thing. And so what happened afterwards was that my lawyer, the lady.
You told the lawyer that you haven't got money.
I don't have. And she was like, listen, come see me in the office. Let's talk. So I went to see her and she said, I will help you. I'm not going to take any money up front because it would really cost you. It'd be expensive. But we'll peg it to how much you earn. And I take a percentage from how much you earn. Is that cool with you? And then you just pay for all the filing fees and stuff. And prior to her, I'd already reached out to different lawyers. Mind you, lawyers in Ghana, lawyers in Egypt. I reached out to lawyers in Egypt and one lawyer told me that their retainer is $100 an hour.
$100 an hour? I just
archived that email and then went on with my merry business because I can't come and pay $100 an hour. Like, how much do I even earn?
An hour?
Yeah, bro.
And that could take like a couple of weeks.
Weeks, yes.
Consultation.
Look, the case went on for years. So imagine if I was paying $100 an hour.
So that was saying that it's not just about you talking to them. It's about them following the whole
process, everything. So anytime that you're engaging them, you're paying. And it's not definite. It can change. Maybe when it comes to time for us to go to court, they would actually then give me a figure, which may be bigger than that $100 per hour. So maybe the consultation was $100 per hour, but then the actual employing their service could be higher. And that's because CAF is in Egypt. They're not in Ghana. So I was exploring suing them in Egypt. But then eventually we sued them in Ghana.
Okay.
Yes. And so my lawyer, she educated me. I mean, everything I know now about intellectual property and copyright is my lawyer, one producer called Beatmanis, and then Seven Xavier. Those three people really, really contributed to me knowing a lot about what I was doing. So whenever I hit a bottleneck, I'll call them and ask them, Charlie, this is what I'm facing. What do I do? And then they show me. And my lawyer too would update me on what the court proceedings, the legal proceedings and everything. This is what this means. This is what they're doing. So this is what you also do. And then we went to court. So yeah, they served them. We had to send stuff through DHL once again to Egypt. It dragged. And finally, we started a procedure, which, so we had to do pre-trial. So the pre-trial is where the court wants you to try and settle this before we go to trial. So then they gave us the option to, you guys to go and settle yourselves. And yeah, but we didn't come to a conclusion.
Oh, wait, what happened there?
Obviously, they'll come and make an offer and then you say whether you like it or not. I mean, I can't say now.
Yeah.
Because...
But they made an offer.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. At all.
Like if I'm asking this the way...
Doesn't make sense.
I don't know if I can say that. I don't think I can say because it was off the record. It's,
But now you've won the case.
But they were still going to court.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't collected my money, so I don't want to do any contempt thing. Then these people go and pass back and say, hey, you wasn't supposed to say this. You went to do an interview and you said this. So,
let's save that because I have a car in that share, in that money.
Well, now I'm going to do a GoFundMe because I'm preparing. If they appeal, I'm going to need between 150,000 to 300,000 to go back to court again. If they appeal. Yeah.
So, see, all this money that is going in the court,
and I haven't even gotten anything yet.
Court process. Are you gonna claim that from them?
So my first judgment. So let's just backtrack. After the case went on, I won. Obviously.
Okay. So yeah.
And the judge awarded me $250,000 in damages, and that's $250,000, and then 40,000 cedis as cost for my legal fees. So there's $250,000, and then there's $40,000 for 40,000 cedis for my cost.
Okay.
Of whatever I spent in chasing this case.
Yeah, during the process.
So that goes to my lawyers.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So then I have 250,000, which I'd share with my lawyers, obviously, because they have a cut in it, percentage, because that's what we agreed. Yeah.
Oh, so but then the legal cost fee. Do you still have to pay? Do you have to give them that to the lawyers? Or?
Yeah, the 40,000. Yeah, that goes to the lawyers.
And then still they have a cut in your...
Because that was the agreement. That they have a cut. They have a percentage from whatever winnings I get. Yeah. Yes.
So in your case, you were lucky to meet someone that helped you, to go through this process, right? And I'm sure a lot of these things happen, and people don't meet the right people. People are not lucky enough, to get the right people to help them. So with your own experience, do you think it's hectic, going through all these, court case and all that? How is it like? How did it affect you anyway?
It's stressful. I won't dispute that. I mean, I was lucky, like you said, to find someone who was willing to help me because I would have had to pay legal fees. I'd have had to pay all the filing fees. I'd have had to pay every single thing that was going on, right? But my lawyers agreed.
How much will that
Oh, I can't count. You? Bro, like I spent so much money, I even lost track at a point.
Even this one that you didn't even have to spend a lot.
Yeah, you still pay for... You still
ended up spending a lot.
When they're going to file this, you pay. When they're going to send this, you pay. When they're going to do this, you pay. And even after winning, I had to pay. Even after the judgment, I had to pay.
What?
For the judgment, something, what do you call it? Exercise out of the jurisdiction. Once again, I mentioned that CAF is in Egypt. So I had to pay monies. Yeah. 5-figure amount for that. Yeah. It's litigation is expensive, which is why people don't go to court by heart. You have to have money to go and train muscle.
So you won the case. You were awarded $250,000.
Yeah.
From CAF. Someone would say that's nothing.
Indeed, it's nothing.
The stress that you've been through, the money involved, and everything. Do you think it's enough to see a whole CAF for just $250,000?
I mean, obviously, it's not enough because we've seen cases that have, gotten more than $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, for intellectual property infringements. There are cases that are landmark cases, crazy amounts. But in Ghana, we haven't seen something like this, right? And so for me, it was like a precedent for my fellow creatives to realize that they need to take their intellectual property serious. Mind you, I was chasing this knowing that I'm bleeding cash because of I wanted to make a point. And even now, I'm still ready like to chase this thing to the Supreme Court. You know, I don't care how much it costs me. They really have to pay for what they did to let other creatives, because let's just think about it this way. Imagine if I was a 13-year-old child who had done this beat. 13-year-old orphan, nobody who had done this beat and CAF had used it. Would that orphan been able to, you know, chase this case? Like, and they would have gotten away with it. Yeah. Do you get it? This for me is like, I want to prove a point. I don't care if I lose money in the process. I don't care if I don't get, they don't pay me. But I want to prove a point that they can't get away with it. They're also paying their lawyers. As much as I'm bleeding, they're bleeding as well. They're also bleeding cash. And I'll see it through to the end. So that next time, before you go and take somebody's intellectual property, you think twice. It's not mine. It's theft. Right? It's as you, let's just say, okay, so I'm a company. I'm taking my employees somewhere for a trip, and I go to a car garage and they've displayed cars there, and I go and take one and put my employees inside and drive them to wherever we go and come back. When the people say that I should pay them, I say, hey, why should I pay you? Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? That's essentially what happened. You took my property without my permission, you used it, you brought it back and say, why should I pay you? You shouldn't even have that conversation. Yeah. You should just come to me and say, I'm sorry, I really needed it. Here's something.
What's the excuse? What are they saying?
I don't know if I can say this because legal proceedings are not, unless, I mean, the judgment is public.
Yeah.
So, well, they said it wasn't commercial. They said it wasn't commercial.
What was it then?
They were, I don't know, but they said it wasn't commercial.
What?
But yeah, that's their defense. They admitted to using it in an email they sent to me. They apologized and they said they were going to take it down. I say that's enough. But pay for the thing. You used it. It's not for free. There was nowhere that you even gave me credit and said, produced by Spiky, music. No. So nobody knows it's me. So I can't say that I even earned fame through you using it. Right? I can't say anything. And me, until now, I have not been paid. And I'm still spending money on something that you stole from me. Like, think about it. Somebody steals from you and then trying to get them to own up and say, yes, we took something that's rightfully yours. And so we're compensating you. They're not doing it. That's just disrespectful. That's just sheer disrespect. Yeah. And it really offends me. Initially, I was like, you know, yeah, we're going to come to an understanding. But at this point, I feel like it's just sheer disrespect. You know, like, they don't care who like what they're doing, what impact it's having. And it's just a disrespect to the whole creative community, because it means now that anyone can take anybody's intellectual property and use it, abuse it. And then, if you like, come to court.
Intellectual properties are not respected.
Yeah. Look at the young musicians who are out there who are even struggling. So when Hammer tells you some of the stories of some of the musicians that used to walk, like Kwakese would walk from Swedro to his studio,
to get to the studio,
you know, and go and do a song, and somebody takes that song and uses it without his permission. Imagine how much pain Kwakese would feel. You know, Sarkodie is big today, but before he became big, he was also hustling. Imagine that when he was starting, somebody just took his music and used it without his permission. The song Blues, they used it to promote something, and then they didn't.
And it's almost like how these things happen to the people that are not in the mainstream, you know, because you can't just go and take Sarkodie's and beat and just use it. Or
it happened to TikTok, and he sued and he won. Actually, happened to Rex Omar, and he sued and he won, and they paid. They didn't even go and do long, like, let's go to appeal. But look, CAF is big. CAF shouldn't have let this drag to this point.
It shouldn't even have happened in the first place.
CAF shouldn't have done this.
Yeah.
Now here we are in court. Judgment has been given. I've still not been paid. So that just goes to prove that they don't care. You know, and me, like, my word is every creative out there should take this seriously. It could be you. That something that your last savings you want to use to produce your demo, and then somebody takes and uses it.
How does it stress you?
How does it stress me? Is it, you see, for me, the stress part of this whole thing is the sheer disrespect, right? Is the brazen disregard for my intellectual property. My music is like my child. Like I told you how passionate I am about producing. I spend nights, people who subscribe to my social media, who follow me, even on my WhatsApp status, will tell you I don't sleep at night because after work, that's the time I have to produce, you know. And the research I do on instruments, sometimes I'm watching documentaries on how the instruments are played, how the instruments are made, to understand, to be able to achieve that sound. Then after all that hard work, somebody just comes to take it. So imagine that you've built something nice, your house, nice house, everything. Then somebody just comes to live in it. And when you tell them to move, but you did not put, like, what the actual F? It's just so, like, it doesn't make any sense to me. You know, and what pains me is maybe I'm okay because I work. But imagine if this was all that I did. You've essentially robbed me.
Pumping money into it as well.
And I'm like, I keep saying, people were hitting me up that they wanted this. And if I tell you sometimes how much I make from licensing beats to people to use for documentaries and stuff, it's good money. And so you've robbed me of the opportunity to make that money. Because I don't give beats to people to even use like that internationally. They even give you where they're going to use it. They let you know, oh, we're going to use it in Africa only. So it can't cross border into Europe. It can't cross border into Asia. It can't cross border into the Americas. You limit people how to use it, even the duration. This thing happened in 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. We're about to go into 2025 and the beat is still online.
Like almost 6 years, isn't it?
More than. About to go to 25 times, so that'll be 7 years. That's crazy, you know. So yeah, I mean, I get riled up when it comes up like that because I feel like we shouldn't have gotten here.
So now that they are dragging the issue, are your lawyers gonna try and increase the money? You know, well, because already people feel like 50,000 is not even nothing. You know,
we didn't even ask for that amount. It was the court that granted us that amount.
Okay.
Yeah, our initial request to CAF was $1 million.
Okay, right.
And they didn't come to talk about anything, and so we sued. But, you know, so in the courts, then we told the courts that the court should deem what we deserve and then pay. And then the courts decided that you deserve $250,000, and so you should be paid that amount. Yeah. And I've still not gotten it. So it's clear that they don't want to pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your next step now?
Well, yeah, I'm just gonna have a discussion with my lawyers.
So you're gonna spend a lot more.
Yeah, because I have a feeling if they haven't paid now,
if they're gonna pay, it's still gonna be the same exact amount.
If they're gonna pay now,
that the courts ordered them to pay.
If they're gonna pay now, yes, that's what they'll pay. But if they go and appeal, depending on what happens at the appeal court, it could go down, it could go up. If they are not happy with that, then we go to the Supreme Court and it could go up or it could go down, depending.
Oh, okay.
But with every single step of that process, I'm paying more money just to get justice. Me that I was robbed, I'm paying to get justice. And I feel like that's what they are banking on, you know, because they think, oh, we are big. You know, like a small boy, which money does he have? Can he go to Supreme Court with us?
Have enough money.
You don't have enough money, he'll back out.
Yeah, you back out.
Yeah. I feel that's what they're banking on. And so
that's not fair though.
Exactly. You see? So yeah, if we end up in appeal and Supreme Court, I'm gonna need almost 1 million Ghana cedis. Like 500,000 Ghana cedis.
That's how you're gonna do the GoFundMe.
Yeah, I'll do a GoFundMe. Or I'll liquidate all my assets.
Yeah.
And fight them. Like, I want them to know that I'm not sleeping. If they think that I'm gonna give up, like, in fact, let me look at the camera. CAF, if you think I'm gonna give up, you're joking. Like, see, I don't mind selling my kidney. I'll fight this thing till the end.
You do everything.
Every bloody thing. If it means Like, see, I will do everything just for justice. I don't care if I don't even get the money, but I want that justice. Let them just see that after all 10,000 years that CAF and Spiky battled, Spiky won. David and Goliath. I shot those those dudes.
Do you have the energy?
Oh, I do. Me have energy.
Are you sure?
Oh, too much
Because
energy.
these things, sometimes I feel like they drag it so that you can just naturally, because human beings, and I mean, like we can easily let go things, and
No, not me. Like, let me give you a scenario. Most of my friends, I have a friend called Ashes. He's a artist manager, and we used to, share an apartment. And Ashes would say, when he comes to me with a tech problem, I don't sleep till I found a solution to it. And that's the thing. Like, I don't leave things halfway. I have to end it. And so if you put me on a path, I don't know stop. I don't have stop. I don't have off button. I'm a go till I crash or till I end. So until I'm dead, I'm just going. And Charlie, they just messed with the wrong guy. The kind of guy that doesn't know stop. Me that I don't know squat or jump. It's just bulldoze through the whole thing. I just keep going, man. I just keep going. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I hope you don't lose hope.
No.
And you
they stole my
course.
baby. You watch that movie Taken?
Taken.
Yeah. Where they kidnapped his daughter. He called him.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know who you are,
I'll come for you.
but I have a specific set of skills. And I'll find you.
I'll find you. That's what he said.
So that's my message to them.
You find CAF, yeah?
Find them. I'll take what's rightfully mine.
Yeah. So for the creators that are starting out, what advice would you give them, in terms of protecting their copyright infringement?
So, in this part of the world, one thing I've come to realize is that we take a lot of things for granted, and I think that a lot of creatives, young, new, old, they need to learn, right? You need to really learn about what you're doing, equip yourself with the skills, and understand that it's business. It's not just a show. I mean, it's showbiz, but like someone said, it's 90% business, 10% show. You really need to focus on the business part of things. It's not about
the passion.
The passion is needed to create. But when you're done, you need to eat. You don't want to die hungry. You don't want to end up a pauper. You want to live a good life.
Yeah.
That's why people have a team, legal team and everything backing them and all that. Give you a typical example. Cisco, his song.
Yeah.
There's a line in that song, Living La Vida Loca, before he says she has, but I'm like, that Living La Vida Loca did not belong to him. It belonged to it came from a song by Chris Martin, which was written by a guy called David. And because he didn't ask for permission to use Living La Vida Loca, he basically does not earn as much money as he should have been earning from that song. That's how powerful intellectual property is.
Wow.
Juice WRLD's Lucid Dreams. Dun, 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 dun. They took that song from Sting.
Okay.
And used it to make the song. Sting owns 85% of that song. So if the song makes 100,000, 85,000 belongs to Sting. You only get 15,000.
Wow.
That's how powerful intellectual property is. P. Diddy. His I'll Be Missing You tribute to Notorious B.I.G.
Yeah, Biggie, yeah.
The song came from same Sting from his band Police. They had the same song and he took it and he did it. He pays Sting royalties. You don't own it. And last example, T.I., B.O.B., Kendrick Lamar, Memories Back Then. The initial song sampled Gautier's Somebody That You Used to Know. They sampled it and they used it to make the beat. Without permission, they had to take down the song from every platform and re-record the song because you didn't clear that sample. That's how important intellectual property is. If we do not take what's ours and protect it, people abuse this stuff every single day. Bloodlines, they paid Marvin Gaye's estate over $3 million for using, listen, they didn't use the song. The song sounded like his song. Yes. That's how very sensitive intellectual property is. So you'll be there and you do a song and somebody will come and take and then go and change something small and use it for something. You can't sue. It belongs to you. If we don't do this, it lets people have the impression that, oh, Ghanaian musicians, they are not serious. You give them something small. Heh. Something small. You spend countless, you see, and that's the thing. We don't put a price on passion. We don't understand the time value of money. The fact that you spend time to do something means that it has value, right? Time is money. So value your time that you spent on creating something. That lets you charge what it's worth. Don't sit down and let somebody tell you, I'm giving you hype. I wanted to use a word, but I can't use the word. But F that hype.
Yeah.
Get that bag. That hype is not going to pay no bills. When ECG come disconnect your meter, tell them to take hype. You know what I mean? Like, when we know what we have and what it's worth, nobody takes us for granted. And people will pay you what you're worth. Tell them, it cost me 5,000 Ghana cedis. And I'm not talking about the studio time. I'm talking about even my intellect. I'm talking about the time I spent. I'm talking about the creativity. Put a value on it. And then take what it's worth. So they need to learn and continuously keep updating yourself about the trends that are happening in the industry. And if you back whatever you're doing with also technology, you can find out when anybody uses your stuff. Right now, YouTube has content ID. If somebody uses my beats today, I just go into my back end and I'll see everyone. I found out recently that a school in, I think it was Botswana, used my beat.
Okay.
Yeah, for a documentary for their school. And I sent them an email. $10,000. You have to pay me. You didn't ask me for permission. So we're also in talks. You see, technology is helping, but if you don't know how it works, you'll be there and then people will be using your stuff. I kid you not. I didn't know. I was sitting by somewhere. Went in my back end and looked at the people who had used my soundtracks. And there was this video of a school and their documentary.
What is this thing that feeds back to you?
So it's a content ID from YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah. So your podcast is going on YouTube. Yeah. If someone takes an element of your podcast and puts it on their channel, it will flag. It will not give a copyright strike, but it will flag and let you know that this person has taken your content. And then you can go and find out what they used it for. And if they're monetizing it, you can actually call them out. Hey, you can't use my content without my permission, right? And we see that whole hey, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Take what you deserve, and then also make sure that you don't infringe on somebody's copyright. You see, if you don't commit the crime, you can pursue somebody who commits the crime. But if you know that you are dirty and you're afraid to chase somebody who's...
There's this saying that if you don't want to do the time, don't commit the crime.
Don't commit the crime, period. So don't commit the crime and then chase the people who have committed the crime. Yeah. So you don't do the time, they do the time.
Yeah,
they just need to learn. Like, I think knowledge is like that statement that says knowledge is power is understated. People need to live it because knowledge really gives you power to do certain things. I can talk today now because I have the knowledge that I am in the right. And so I'm confident when I'm talking, right? If I wasn't too sure of myself, like when I wasn't sure about the legal parts, you see, I wasn't very confident in what I was saying. But where I know, I'm confident. So it's essential that you equip yourself with your knowledge and value whatever you do. As creatives, I feel like creatives do not put enough value on their art. They don't put enough value. Value it. Charlie, if they say they can't pay, they should go. Somebody who can pay will come. I made my beats. People will come to me and say they wanted to pay me 500 CDs for my beats. I won't sell. And my friends would be like, Charlie, sometimes you have to start small. I'm like, no, I know what it's worth. Eventually, my first payout for my beats was $1,000. $1,000. That was the first payout for my beats. And it wasn't even exclusive. The person was buying it, was leasing it for, I think it was 6 months. Yeah.
And you had what?
$1,000.
Wow.
I was very young at the time. Meanwhile, people had come to me with 100 Ghana, 200 Ghana, 500 Ghana CDs for beats.
I said, if you were desperate at the time, you would have taken it?
I was desperate. I didn't have money. but I knew what my beats were worth. You know, if you know what your stuff is worth, demand the right price and people will pay. There's a reason why Louis Vuitton commands more money than some brand. I don't want to mention any brand, but you get it. Because they have gotten to the point where they are convinced and they believe in their stuff. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically all I have to say. Everything. Yep.
All right. Thank you so much for coming today, Spiky.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you. Really appreciate your time, your effort, everything to be here today with us. And I hope everything goes well for you. I hope you get your money, get more, and then make sure that you send me my cut, which is like 35%. You know,
hey, wait, 35. That's why I'm taking more than my lawyer.
Yeah, did you get worried now? Let me ask you this final question. Did you get worried about family, friends, you know, feeling entitled to?
Oh, I mean, you can be entitled, but are you in my bank account? I mean, that people I'll settle.
Yeah, definitely.
Someone like Gary L. Smith, he drew my attention. Yeah. So I'm definitely settling him. You shouldn't worry if the money drops now. You shouldn't worry, girl. And all the people who really helped me, like the names I mentioned, Seven, you know, Beats Menace, anyone who really contributed, Hammer, anyone who really like advised me or pointed me in the right direction, my lawyer, I've got all their backs. Like, yeah. It was a team effort. It wasn't just me. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. So thank you once again for coming, and don't forget about me, and don't sue us because you won't get anything right now from this podcast. Thank you so much for coming.
Well, you should sue. If anybody infringes, sue them. Don't wait, sue them.
Yeah, man. So and thank you guys for watching. And if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. And then
share, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment.
Yeah, join this new community. Okay, thank you so much.
Mash the subscribe button, that one there. Mash it, hit it, and then hit the notification bell. So when they upload new video, you get a notification and you watch it. And watch it to the end. Don't watch 10 seconds. Watch it to the end. Watch everything.
Thank you.